Hmm. I wait for him to come in. I'm already on. It's okay, man. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You like to look at it. Here we are live this Thursday. What's today's date? May the 19th. A lot going on all over the place podcast. I'm a singular tonight, but I'm a plural employer. You understand? My man had to do some daddy duties, which we all respect. Men respect men. Places to go. We still have to stay COVID conscious in certain areas where there's not much ventilation. People still need to keep their masks up because they say the COVID numbers are up. So you just got to always be conscious of where you at and what you're doing, even if you get a drink or two in. Got to pay attention to what's going on because now stuff is so dangerous. You can go in the supermarket and get murdered. You know what I mean? You can actually be going to get groceries, minding your business, not bothering nobody, and get murdered. Prayers up. We like to send prayers to all 10 families of the shooting victims in Buffalo, which we still mourn. We haven't forgot about it. We got to keep talking about it so we can stay conscious. A lot of times people just want to talk about the hot topics, but you got to talk about the topics that's hot. You know what I'm saying? You know, what I mean, you can't just get on something just to get on and just get off it when you think the value of what's going on is gone. That's a very serious issue in our community where we're being targeted by white supremacists. So, hey, Pavin, how you doing? How's everybody doing? I'm over here on 2904 Minnesota Avenue, Southeast. Now, you got to be careful with Minnesota Avenue. If you make a left, you'll be in Northeast. You'll be over there by, by the subway. You know what I mean? What's that, Galveston Place and all that? That's over there. If you make a left. But if you make the right, coming over top of the Benny Hill and H Street corridor, you would be going towards Fort DuPont, which is the southeast side. I'm over here with JQ and his establishment, and we have my big sister Duty in here. We also want to thank the Lamont Riggs Association. Over the weekend, hey, hey, what's up, Gilmore? Yeah, well, that's popping up. I can see him. Yeah, you good? See, he went to his producer mode that time. He went to his Jermaine do pre-roll. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but yeah. Uh, like I was saying, uh-oh, hold on. What's up, Julio? Yeah, what time? I got you. All right. Yeah. Oh, with something going. Yeah, one thing for sure, two things for certain. Two things for certain. I'm gonna get back to what I was talking about before I was rudely interrupted by one of my clients. That's all they think about is when they get their haircut. But I understand because I ain't got nothing against a brother that want to keep himself well groomed because that's the business that I'm in. Now, I was talking about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ceremony that they had at Lamar Riggs Recreational Center, newly built over. Well, it's not new to us in the neighborhood, but it's new compared to what we used to have. The rec used to be around on the school side where we used to eat our elementary lunches at. Now we have a state of the art recreation center along with a state of the art. Hey, Greg, how you doing? State of the art football and soccer field and the baseball diamond, which was over. I think that actually was over. Hey, Reg, how you doing? I think it was actually over a $4 or $5 million project. Don't quote me on that, but the wreck is beautiful. And if we could have had that when I was coming up, man, whew, man, we could probably have more guys out of our neighborhood to go to the NBA because our recreation center, Lamar Riggs, was always known for having a capacity crowd. We actually was one of the first major uh, outdoor tournaments in DC. You know what I'm saying? Which was 1988. I think we started in 1988 because I played in the one in 1989. Which who was established by Michael Freeman, Michael Clutch Freeman, rest in peace. Hey Sabrina, how you doing? I'm dolo by myself. I had to give y'all something because my partner, he had to go do his daddy duties, and I respect that. You know, he got a beautiful daughter, Mimi. Hope y'all win the softball game, Mimi. But I was talking about, if you're just tuning in, I was talking about the beautiful celebration that we had at Lamont Riggs Recreational Center, newly remodeled recreational center, which we had a guy from our neighborhood, Riggs Park owned, who grew up with you, right up underneath you, Duty, which was the guest speaker, which was Richard Dyer. You might know his brother, his older brother, Steve Dyer, and the younger brother, which is my age, Andy Dyer. Well, Richard Dyer is a guy who was the guest speaker who also was in charge of Channel 9. He was, matter of fact, actually, Channel 9 was there videoing the whole thing. Yeah, he ran Channel 9 for years. Named Richard Dyer. I'm going to tell you where he actually lived at. He lived up there where if you live across the front of the wreck, I mean, not the front of the wreck, you know where we used to be at up top? Up top. Walk straight across where the Corsi and all them live at. Go to that first corner. Make a right. Right? Go to that next corner. Make a right. That's over there. Like you'd be going back towards the ANC, Leroy Huff's house. You follow what I'm saying? That's where he live, where Howard Berry lives at. That's where they live. He's a Carroll alumni. All of them went to Carroll. But hey, what's up, Trevor? How you doing? What's up with you? My co-defendant. You did pretty good. That's my co-defendant. Everybody know my first little state case, Trevor Scott. Y'all might know him as Trouble. You know, you got to be a heck of a dude to get a name like Trouble. You know, that ain't no good news. You know what I mean? Trouble. You know what I mean? A lot of people try to ease it in and use Trevor, but in real, we called him Trouble. Because every time he come around, it's going to be some trouble. You know what I mean? But that's my homeboy. Riggs tournaments were like that. Actually, the first time that the Riggs tournament was going to go global, they had Jerry Stackhouse who was supposed to play that day. But that's the day that they started shooting. Same day. Jerry Stackhouse was scheduled to play that day. And the reason they started shooting is didn't happen. I ain't going to put no areas and all that on blast. But guys, it wasn't Riggs Park stuff. The guys came from across the way who were beefing on their own block. And one went to our tournament and the other one happened to be there. Man, and started shooting like that. So they just brought what they was doing to the neighborhood. I was up there too. You know, listen, a lot of people don't know how historic Lamar Riggs is because we actually had some of the biggest events that ever took place in Washington, D.C. We also had the first and only and the largest boxing match. I talk about this all the time, which was set up by D.C. Recreations, which took them all day to set the ring up. That's how serious it was. In the middle of the field, took them all day, which people came from all over D.C. to see it, to see the fight, which it was about 15 fights. Might have been more than that. And they had guys that were in different boxing club, round one or whatever, you know, they had. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people don't remember this. They had a white boy. And his name was Pasario. He was like a white black boy. He used to wear the Rocky trunks, the red, white, and blue Jones with the stripes and the flag on it. If anybody remember, his name was Pasario. He was sharp. He used to win all the time. Yeah, he used to win all the time. He fought in all of them. And also, you know, one of the first fights we had was Leslie Lattisaw and Big Oliver Johnson. And they started fighting because Leslie won. And once he won, he did the Bertha Butt Boogie. And once he did the Bertha Butt Boogie, man, Ollie couldn't take it no more. Ollie jumped in the ring, and you know they had two of the largest families in our neighborhood, the Lattisaws and the Jones. Man, you talking about 15, 17, with the girls involved, you talking 15, 17 family members. You know what I'm saying? They would be considered like the Jacksons in North Michigan, which they had one of the biggest families in North Michigan. Also, yeah, Jacksons, I think they had 17. And I was saying to myself, 17 people with 1.5 bathroom. How do you make it? You know what I'm saying? And my man told me, who was also a part of All Over the Place podcast, DJ What, which is Michael Jackson. He said by the time he get clothes that were passed down, they were run down. So, you know, they got hand-me-downs. You know, he couldn't afford to buy. You know, he got 17 kids. I think it was 9 boys and 8 girls. You know what I'm saying? So you can't go out and tell them, let's go shopping. Like these kids today go, and you take them shopping today, and they don't be satisfied with one pair of shoes or one shirt. They think they're supposed to get 17 outfits, like they got brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? But times have changed because the kids of the day, they also understand economics a little better because they understand that their mama got a little bit more money than their mama had, which is grandma. So they try to, sponge on that a little bit, and they'll get you to buy. Huh? They got to do something, right? Parents wanted them to have stuff that they didn't have and all that. But the worst thing you can do is spoil a kid. You can get him some things that he needs, but he shouldn't feel just because you don't get him something that he could better commit a tantrum or or be mad at you or you know that's negating everything you've done up until that point. What about if you're 10? What about all the other stuff I've done in the last 10 years? You talking about one shopping purchase negates all my parenting skills? So, kids of the day are ungrateful. We're gonna move on to hey, Michael Belly, I'm solo dolo. You could have came in the studio tonight. I know you got the security outfit on. Slim, you the best that ever did it, Slim. I'm telling you, man, you the best that ever did it. If you walking around checking the perimeter, 3 of them Jones in your pocket. I know you got to be somebody call you. Will step up front with that security outfit on. That's one thing I like about Slim. Nobody has done it like you, Slim. You just passed Elmo for the all-time. You know what I'm saying? I can't say because your job. Oh, that's right. You ain't a security guy no more. That's right. That's right. You're a milkman. That's right. We ain't working the milk farm. I'm at work. I do not do. What do you do, Mike? Tell the people out there what you do. And I'm proud of you. And I'm going to show you the power of a woman. Because before you met your wife, you ain't even had no job. You didn't want to keep no job. You met that woman and you seen some structure and you understand that, man, you know what? She really loved me, man. You know what I mean? I'm an ice cream maker. Now, see, you think you Master P and all that. See, I know what you think about ice cream. Don't let that ice cream get you late. Over there making them half pints and all that. Don't get to really thinking you Master P for real, but Master P was just in town. They say not too long ago, I think the other podcast out of Spotlight of a City, I think the lady, yeah, which they're very good. I think they interviewed Master P. I watched a clip of it. Yeah. Yeah, I think he was in town and they got some plugs. They got some plugs because one of the guys that I had on my show has 2 movies coming out now. Swap Out. You might look him up too. Terry Head Miles. He's from DC. Yeah, we had him on the show too. I got some clips of him too. I'm gonna run them clips of him. But he just sent me something. And he's going to be having something at Bethesda. He got like a red carpet event at Bethesda Jazz Club. Matter of fact, I can look it up now and tell you exactly when it is because he sent it to me today. If he didn't send it to me. Because, see, I'm just now getting my Messenger and Instagram. For those of y'all don't know, I have an Instagram page now. If you want to find me on Instagram, you can find me at Slink_I. Like pink eye, I'm Slink Eye. So, you got to realize, see, I can't give y'all too much because y'all might. Huh? Yeah, Master P is definitely go. Everybody love Master P because we all know that we really, and out of all, we got to be honest, out of all of the execs, I think everybody from the hood or everybody that came up a certain way can kind of like identify with him over the rest. He don't act stuck up, snobbish, or like he don't have time to deal with you. I think a lot of stuff people laughed at that he tried to create in the beginning, but once they said, wait a minute, because when he had Master P had the sports agency, John, when he had the running back and all that, they laughed at him when he had that. And he had a couple guys out the NFL. He also played in the NBA. They laughed at him. He sees all the stuff that people laugh at him. He prophesied. He made it happen in real life because you couldn't have told nobody, man, I'm gonna play in the NBA, and he was good. It wasn't like they let him play because he paid. He's not a bum, right? He got everything. Potatoes. Those are the things that we need to think about as a whole, and that's everybody. You should be thinking about yourself as a brand because if you see yourself as a brand, you might act differently. You understand how much you could damage your brand if you don't call it a brand. It could be your image. You know what I'm saying? Because your image is very important because sometimes people don't know you, so they go off the images that they see, right? So if you displaying purity ignorance, you could be a good person, But first time meeting you off what they see, you done been misjudged. Now you working uphill. Not saying you can't repair it when you talented enough to, overcome like Slim. That wasn't me. But why work at a position where you're working uphill when you can start on level playing field? You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna you put out something, you're gonna put out something. Then dudes be talking, dudes will say, man, Slink, you should do this with the part you do. I hear you. I take everything into consideration. But one thing I'm not gonna do with my podcast is glorify things that's not gonna help people build off today. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go back 20 years and talk about what we did, what we had, because it's not helping you. Now we can acknowledge some things, and we might use a story as a parable. Yeah, but we're not gonna build a foundation off all of the naught. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about some things of some substance, how we was brought up, our neighborhood, where we was from, our parents, our grandparents. We need to talk about the source from which we from for real. Because where we from, we're not from the hood. Contrary to what people believe, we from one of the finest neighborhoods in Washington, D.C. That was upscale. In our neighborhood, they didn't really like us if you was from other areas because we had a community. It's a difference. See, it went from a community to a neighborhood to a hood. See, those are the conditions we've been broke down by the chain of thought. You know what I'm saying? The way we think now. We ain't friends. We can't speak. How you doing, man? How you doing? Oh, I'm doing cool. How you feel? Nah, man, everything is, I don't F that dude. I don't know him. We already got a dead eye looking at you, man, and you ain't done nothing to me. Ain't done nothing to me. Greenberg and Betterman comes off Chillin' Place. He lived on there. Yeah, man. Chillin' Place. They still got that house. Yeah, they still got that. See, if you go back into a little bit of history. Now, you use history in a positive light. If you go back to history, and I always like to use history, not from a drug scale. I like to use it from a Black entrepreneurship scale, where Blacks own a lot of the business that you see Europeans and Chinese, like these Chinese stores, they used to be mom and pop carryouts, right? So now we're seeing Orientals, Koreans, and all that with these same type of stores that they used to be Black-owned furniture store, Black-owned clothing store, Black-owned telecommunications store, Black-owned barbershop, Black-owned a daycare. You know what I'm saying? Everything. You're right about it. Listen, now we can get back to that. But the only way we're going to get back to that is Mr. J's liquor store. Right. I used to work for Mr. J. Mr. J, you remember him? Mr. J was the first Black-owned liquor store. He was the first Black guy that I ever seen, like, man, this dude a millionaire. He got a liquor store. When you're young, you think, what? Man, let me tell you something. A liquor store back then, and what happened is we didn't really understand how important or how difficult it was to get what we got. So we relinquished it easier, not knowing that, man, 20 years from now, this joint gonna be worth tenfold what I had to pay for in fees and all that. Because if a Black person right now got a liquor license and can sell liquor, right? See, hey, Michael Jackson, how you doing? I just talked about your family, 19 in the family. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 19. There you see it. That is the third piece of the car, the spare tire, the DJ what? Michael Jackson, who is also with us on Monday nights, where we are at the VFW, which is a very nice event where you can come in, drink, get fried fish, get fried chicken. You can hear a good podcast. It's a lot of things we got going on, man. But let me get back to what I was looking at. Give me a minute, y'all, so I can get back to what I was looking at. See, because I just started opening up my daggone Cheryl Hodson. Oh, that must be your sister. That's Cookie, right? Oh yeah. I always get her mixed up with the I always get her mixed up. Right, Choo Choo Mama. Yeah. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike Armstrong, listen, man. You also, no other podcast in Washington, D.C. and DMV areas gave up $1,800 during football season. $1,800, fresh $100 bills every week. The winner who picked the most wins, which I'll be doing it again this year, who picks the most. All you have to do is coming up soon. Where the location? I'm at 2904 Minnesota Avenue Southeast right now, giving more. That's Richie Rich. You can come on. We got a mic set up. I can take a break and we can set a mic up and you can get right on and talk about what you got on. You at work. Yeah, that's Richie Rich. Give me more. Give more 360. You know, everybody got to go on them aliases and all that shit. Man, see, that's why I use my name, man, because it's a brand. I don't want them to mix me up when the big checks start coming. You know what I'm saying? So you got all these aliases, all that, trying to use all these other names. Michael Q. Whack and all that. When they start signing the checks and stuff, who you want me to send it to? Ain't no bank accounts with Michael Q. Whack on it. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to do stuff the right way, sometimes you got to use your real name, man. Especially if you start really wanting some real checks. Because I don't think you can cash a check in an alias unless you're scamming. You know what I'm saying? You can't check. So that's why, later on in my life, when it comes to business, don't get me wrong, I'm Slink, aka Skinny. I could be all that. My man, Reds, I done been everything. One time a dude came in the barbershop, told me, "What's up, Black?" I said, "I know this dude. Don't know me. Ain't nobody never called me Black. What's up, Black? I'm the reddest dude." He told me, "What's up, Black?" I said, "Homie, you don't know me, man. Come on, man. Cut it out, man." Where's the location? 2904 Minnesota Avenue Southeast, Rebel Rousers. Understand, this is a very nice establishment. I will be here every Thursday, each and every Thursday. We're looking for guests. Bring your best. Bring your bio. We're not just talking about anything. This is all about building. You know what I'm saying? This is all about, we're trying to build health. Health is your wealth. We're going to start with your health. Everybody needs to take, in our community, their health a little bit more serious. If one thing the pandemic didn't teach us in the last 2 years is we know a lot of people have been prematurely sick, primarily catching the virus. And some people was able to catch the virus and shake it off. But we have others who had what they call what they call it? They call it pre-existing conditions. They had pre-existing conditions, and what happened is when you caught COVID, it attacked everything. Even a lot of times, because a lot of people don't go to the doctor, man. We got to start going to the doctor, man. Everybody on this chat line right now, please make an appointment. And the first thing, I go to the doctor. First thing we talk to people about stuff like, they're going to tell you the last time they've been, right? But they can't tell you how long they've been going. How long you been going to the doctor? For the last 10 years? Or the last 2 months? The pandemic, man, not pandemic. I know what he's saying. That's Richie Rich. He's slick now. I called. I tried to. He said it was planned. What you think, Slim? You think it was planned? You gotta. We gotta keep. We gotta keep that third eye open when we step. We can't listen. Yeah. Okay, so you saying, so in other words, you talking about population control, a theory of population control, like they do in China or some of them other places where you only allow, how many kids are you allowed to have in China? Yeah, now over here, that's part of the things. Hold up, man. What did he say? The world was overpopulated? Okay. So you think Obama was with the lick? You think Obama was with the lick? Because now he coming out telling me the first world population control. Oh, okay. Is that a book? Well, for those of y'all interested in book, two in China. Okay, two in China. Okay, you're only allowed to have 2 kids in China. Okay, now get back to the shout out to my man. Wait a minute, this has already happened. Yeah, okay, this is one he had. Oh, that's already happened too. He had the night of movie and music on the black carpet. It was January 15th at the Bethesda Jazz Club, 1922 Swap Out. That's a movie they just made, and they located now in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm gonna do another clip with him too. I had him on the show. I'm gonna have to get him back on, and I also want to do a reclip. Yeah, I believe it. They got, along with, I definitely believe in the genocide. I definitely do believe in it. I think because we the most misinformed and the most uninformed. Right. And a lot of times we want research to do that stuff just to make us think about outside of what somebody telling us. See, we all talking about they said. Who was they? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to research what people say they said. They said, woo, woo, woo. And who was they? You know what I'm saying? We got to look behind the curtain, man. The Wizard of Oz. Remember the Wizard of Oz, man? Dude, make a ooh, right? Pull the curtain back. This little dude said, and that just goes to show you how people can, right. Yeah, diversion. I think that was displayed in the last presidency too. I think he kind of because he can't stop talking about what's really on his mind. He was giving up a lot of stuff that I don't think he really should have been talking about. Because yeah, yeah, he was giving up a lot of stuff that right. He was giving up. I strongly agree. He was giving up a lot of information that I think the powers that be didn't want to be leaked out, but he was just bragging about it. Like I'm with him. I know I'm good. He started talking all kinds of crazy stuff. He started talking about put bleach in. We can't use but bleach. We can't use bleach. No, huh? He was saying that we can't use yeah, yeah, shoot it. We can't shoot it. Shoot bleach or something. Yeah, yeah. But and then what they said before that he wanted to actually when he had COVID, he actually, which they stopped him. This is my sources tell me from down the White House. Got got people to work in the Capitol, got people working in the White House. My sources say when Trump had COVID and he came out, remember when he came out on the balcony to try to let the people, I'm all right, I'm all right, I'm all right. He originally wanted to come out and have a Superman shirt up underneath the regular button down, and he was going to bust, Superman bust out his shirt like I told you, hold the care. They was like, hold up, man, slow down, man, you going too far. So he was like, he argued. They said he argued for like 30 minutes to an hour. Right. They finally got him, and then he was able. That's when you remember when he came out on the. I agree with you. Oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Right. Edited. It's edited. It's edited. Yeah, yeah, edited. How you feel about Jim Crow, Joe Biden? Well, I just think Joe Biden was just better than Trump. That's all. And listen, I know just Eva. Listen, don't get me wrong. I ain't never up here got no pom pom for nobody looking at that other than my own. I understand the game, but at the same time, if I'm gonna choose, I'm gonna choose lesser of the two evils. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna choose somebody that ain't gonna get me killed. Somebody might, I ain't gonna be mad at a dude to drive me down the wrong street and he say, "Oh my bad." Or opposed to a dude take me in a jump where they're gonna blow my head off. You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure out which one, which one of the two you want to be with. You know what I'm saying? I got argue this dude. I can get out of this car and say, "Man, I don't need you to take me nowhere." But this other dude, I ain't no get back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, want to give a quick shout out to reiterate the last week, me and my wife went to the Saturday night screenplay of A Woman's Love, directed by our own homegrown Dana Dane. It was beautiful. I'm gonna give a round of applause for her. And I'm gonna also give a round of applause for her cast. And I'm also give a round of applause for everybody who actually lifted any finger, carried a chair. See, the people behind the scenes a lot of times don't get praise. The guys or the people or the kids or anybody that might not be receiving anything, but they just want to be a part of something positive. And that thought might take them to a next level. Where, see, sometimes if you ain't operating off just looking at finance for everything, you'll get something bigger than that, a blessing, or you'll get a path that you can follow. See, sometimes one installment could be underpaying you, opposed to a path that you can see or another view. You know, which everybody chased. We talked about that. You say everybody got to do everything what they got to do for them views, and they're going to do it. But if you can put a view in somebody's mind, they can create something like she created. It was a beautiful play. It was my favorite actor was the guy who actually committed the murder at the end of the play. Man, he was my favorite actor in the joint. He would tickle me to death. Also, I thought Todd Dixon did real good. Also, the little girl, everybody was good. Huh? Yeah, they had some kids in the play. I think they had 2 kids, and the kids were good-looking kids. You know, they picked some good-looking jokes, good hair, little nice haircut. Oh, she knew what they was doing. It was everything was. Listen, they planned it. They put their plan into action, and people really aren't understanding what she just did, man. That was big. Slim, a first-time playwright. Now, whether she's not, this is her first-time playwriting, whether she got more play, to have one performed that you written at the prestigious Bethesda, that ain't, Bethesda Jazz Club, for those of y'all don't know, is an upscale, very nice event. Ain't no $22 to get in that joint and all that. You pay for what you get. And my mother told me that a long time ago in life. Man, don't get me wrong. Everybody tries to economize and spread it around. But one thing about black folk gonna pay for what they want. You know what I'm saying? Whether you say, well, I ain't too expensive. I ain't buying that hat for $300, but you go buy $4,000 luggage. So, you know, it's all about where your interest is. But back to this play, A Woman's Love. Shout out again to Dana. Girl, I'm proud of you. I shout out to also my homies, Shannon Witherspoon and the other guy who actually, I didn't even know, he works with my niece, the other guy who was on the red carpet Saturday night from Diamond City Show. Give a shout out to them. See, one thing about Slink. See, dude, man, what's up, man? Listen, man, listen, I know you're listening because you're listening. I need to talk to you ASAP, man. I got to talk to you about something. Only for your ears, though. So if you get some spare time, if you be up there tomorrow, you're going to be up there tomorrow? Because I know where to find you. Let me know if you're going to be up there tomorrow when I get off. Go, Dana. Yes, very nice play. Very nice play. Also, I had a long weekend, man. I can't even explain my weekend over one show. My weekend was so long. I started the weekend off on a Friday, which I never been to a service on a Friday. I went over to hundreds of them. And I'm saying, I ain't never went to. This is my first time going to a service on a Friday. I done went Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. You know, I never went on a Friday. So that was the first time I ever went to a service on Friday. And wouldn't, happen to be one of my favorite people in the whole world, my oldest sister. I thought that my niece and nephew, I want to give them some honor. I thought they did a spectacular job at sending my sister off in a beautiful way. And I think everybody, I don't have to explain how it was. If a person was there, ask them, they'll tell you. We all a family, but my niece and nephew, which anybody in my sister's situation you would like, see, everybody got to go. That's a fact. Somebody, power of attorney, that's stable. They're not money hungry. They're not a cheat. They know how to share. Somebody fair. I tell people all the time, if you share, you care. If you care, you fair. You hear me? No, you missed it. I said, if you care, you share. And if you share, you fair. See, that's a 3-piece suit that a lot of people don't like to wear. You know what I'm saying? This is what they wear. It's mine, it ain't yours. Yes, it is. See, that's a pair of jeans, Timberlands, and your hat turned back. See the difference in the two, you know what I'm saying? And see, in our community, a lot of times we talk about that too. I have previous shows where we talk about in our communities, a lot of people not insured. That's why you see a lot of GoFundMe's. And this ain't about what we're doing. This is about us as a whole. This is some this is some stuff in our community that we need to address where people, you know, when people go, people need to not be trying to grab every little thing that's around, because in certain instances, some people do die in debt. And it's okay because they might have did everything. Well, it's not okay, but we don't know what they've been through. You don't know. We don't know. You don't know. And see what happened. Right. And you know what happened? Yeah. And what happens is people start planning too late. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, a lot of times people, usually start, to be honest with a lot of people, rough, a lot of people figure. They usually start planning your life when you get your career, when you get your job, or you got your business, or you got a wife, or you got this. It's got to be something stable in your life to make you start making stable choices. Like, so let me get my plot. Let me get my stone. Let me get my insurance. Let me get my beneficiary. Now, all of us have kids. Now, we know in our mind, let's just say, Jermaine, God forbid, I pass away tomorrow. I got $2 million. My wife gonna take it, right? Because I know she gonna make sure my son get his. She gonna make sure my daughter get hers. She gonna make sure my other daughter get hers, and she gonna take her son. That's how it's supposed to be, right? And then I'm gonna be put away nice, right? I know. See, and then that's and you got to think like that, Slim. You got to think like, man, if I pass today, who would do my business? See, we don't think like that. Who gonna take right then? Then when you go to, yeah, right. Who know where all your personal business is? Who know where your, who know, who knows? There you go, Jermaine. There you go. Now you start talking about what the cost of death is. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people think life costs, but death costs money too, because you got to understand what you're doing, because people will steal your fortune. And people start turning to notaries, signing stuff, and man, they start seeing that it's 80 over here and 30 over there. Man, they start making their own judgment calls. And everybody doesn't carry out the order which the parent left for, because the parent got, oh, I want to be buried this, blah, 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 blah. Some kids say, well, she don't need all that. No, we can look, that's too much. Just imagine if your kid said, that's too much of Pop. He wouldn't want all that. You know, you know what I'm saying? They say, well, you ain't got to pay that much. Man, I know my father. He wouldn't want all that for that cash. You know what I'm saying? They start, but you already got a lot of, okay, $4,000 from a cat. They start, man, my father wouldn't want no $4,000. See, they round topping that. They done turned it into a dope deal. You see what I'm saying? They done turned a $250,000 insurance policy to a dope deal. So now you start scamming, because we're coming up in the scamming nation, the scamming time now. Over the last 2 years, there have been billions of dollars scammed, right? Now, we ain't gonna just start looking at our people like, just because over the last 2 years, they gonna blame us for all the scamming when the other folks been scamming for the last 500-600 years. You understand? Where they've been getting people to work for them for nothing all day and give you grits and chicken bones. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna look at the little 2 years that our little Ray and John had a little run up in LA. Got them. You know what I'm saying? They got them. So what? It still will never amount to what was taken from us as people. It can't never be put into a dollar sign. It don't come close. It still can't do nothing to how we were treated, stripped of our spirituality, stripped from our culture, stripped from our families, right? Can you imagine that? Stripped from our history. So now you're taking a dude, putting him somewhere in a foreign land, and you don't know nothing. That's just like, that's just like when you go out of town. And you be green. Like, say you go to a place you've never been. You go to Seattle or something, right? And you first, hey, where's the you got to ask the person for everything, because you don't know nothing, because it's foreign land. So if you don't have somebody that's genuine, right? The first question you say, that's like you say, if a person came to DC and they say, excuse me, sir, where could I go to really have a nice time? And you look at him and say, I tell you what, you can go over to you can go to Barry Farms, man, and they got some nice restaurants. You know what I'm saying? If you was on the move, right? And the people like, okay, where's it at? You know, they don't know. I tell you what, it's over Anaconda. Go down Good Hope Road, right? Keep straight down Good Hope Road. Anything over there is good, right? You can go over 30th Street. You know what I mean? That just show you how lost you be, right? It's the same thing what they did to us. Same thing what they did to us. You know what I'm saying? You come to somebody, take you from where you at, put you in that area. You don't know nothing. You don't know nobody. You're trying to ask somebody. They telling you, man, well, I'm gonna give you the land in 20 years. I give you 100. You just work for me now. Don't worry about it. When I die off, you can have 100 acres, and you'll be all right. You and your family can go on. And by 20 years gone, he done died. His son got in there. He raised you. Yeah, you gonna get it. Yeah. Now you don't went through 2 or 3 generations. Where maybe your grandson is the first one that figured out a way to beat these folks. He done chicken George the way out. See, he done figured out a way he done got from being passed down that spirit. He the slicker boo. See, he done figured out a way where he can play the people to make him think, oh, that's one of my favorite ones. Yeah. But all the time, he got to move. He catch him, he slash your throat. If you ever go back, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. If, at any given chance, like, they be like, oh, well, you didn't see him chicken. No, I didn't see him. You know, because he got him fooled. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else didn't have him fooled, but no, sir, look at me. That's why they always want you to look. Don't look at you. Don't pay your. No, I ain't seen it, sir. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you think about some of the stuff that our ancestors been, it's almost unbelievable. And see, that's part of the traumatic. That's part of the European psychology. See, we done lost the self worth, right? Because when I came up in my neighborhood, once our neighborhood went from good to bad to worse, and then came back when I was involved when it was worse. I never, because the neighbor I'm so originally from, I never could see a reason, right? I never could see a reason to take a man's life. I never could see that, Slim. I'm telling you, man, dudes, and see, I can think, I can get around. You know, I know how to move. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. It might come a time when you in the north for you to handle something, but I'm talking about to take a man's life, right? That's not jeopardizing taking yours. Because see, that's the only thing I think I would take a life for. If you came into my house where my kids and my wife was there, and I got to kill you. I have to, because I'm the last line of defense. Because if just like when you're watching the movies and the man is there, and the dude breaking the house and the man, oh, stroke, honey, and it clonked the man, the woman, you see, now the woman out and she got, it's 3 a.m, she got slip on, one cheek hanging out in that dude's. Now he got control of the whole domain there. You sitting over there squirming, trying to figure out a way to get back. You don't know what's going on. You done lost half your faculties. You can't see, your vision gone. That means your family. We'll move into another era where that's another difficult topic. We're right to bear arms or having a gun in the household. Some people say, man, we need to get more guns. That's a big issue too, man. We need to get more guns. I even seen a dude on the internet. He said, if you don't have a gun, you're a punk. He's an arms dealer. He said, if you don't have a gun, you're a punk. You can't protect your family. No, he's an arms dealer. He make guns. He on the joint. He black dude. Now, he don't think that he's a black guy. He's an arms dealer. He stay on Instagram and all that. And he's trying to promote, which I think if a man does have a home, he should have a gun. Have a gun. He should have a gun, because that's your home. And the only way you can protect your home, because you ain't June. Yeah, and nowadays the average and the average person now that's committing a crime has a gun. See, the average person, back in the day, they might not have a gun, might have had a knife, or like you said, he might have a stick or anything. Oh, give it up, Slim. Hey, man, you look at a dude that, give it up, Slim. Oh, man, if you don't sit down somewhere, Mark Chopper. Hey, what's up? That's this is Sid from the Real News. Talk to me, Sid. How you been? Sid, you've been putting out a lot of good information. I'm in here, 2904 Minnesota Avenue Southeast at Rabble Rousers, ran by JQ. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know who JQ is. Nice guy, always been fair, always love to share. You know what I mean? And always care. You know what I'm saying? Some people got the three-piece suit. Now, see, dudes that start taking my sayings, they'll run with the Jones. They'll run with the Jones. Just like I was the first one to start talking. I'm trying to tell you, I tell them about the jewels. I'm dropping jewels. Next thing you know, I hear everybody talking about they dropping jewels. Man, I've been using that since the 90s, man, sitting on the bunk. We was talking about dropping jewels since 1991, 92. That's how long I've been saying. I don't know how long y'all been saying. Because I always understood the value of something that was said that was profound, something that was the truth, and something that could last a lifetime, which I think the truth is the only thing probably would last a lifetime. The truth. Now, you could probably, right, and we'll get to that. Yeah, we're going to get to that. Let's Never Say Never by Kim McCrae. Go get it. It's a doozy. It's a quick read, too. Just like that. It goes on about friendship. It's about friendship. Did you read it? Okay, now, shifting gears a little bit, Kim. You got your little pub. Get on off here. But look, now, that's my sister, my last love. She's in Jacksonville right now with her son, Chase. What's up, Chase? If you're watching. Listen, books are very valuable. This is another reason why the internet was created as well, because it takes away from the whole truth and it gives you partial truth and three or fourth BS, right? So they just twisting it up, and fluffing it a little bit to the point where it's the truth. They done turned the truth into, they used to say, old saying, man, the truth hurts. That's a true fact. But they done turned the truth. Stay with me, y'all. They done turned the truth into amusement. See, if I can amuse you with what I'm saying, it don't have to be the truth. You see what I'm saying? So, and then that's why a lot of times you say, man, what did he say? Oh, man, I can't remember that, Joe, man. I forgot. And I just heard him say it. Because really, it was fluff. Because something somebody say that's profound, you probably can pull your Rolodex, but say, man, I remember Johnny Boo told me something, man, when I was 19, Slim. I'll never forget it. You got Jones in your log, and people out there, y'all should have, if you and also, this is another thing y'all need to do too. Work on your memory. People always say, Ernie, you got to, man, you remember everything. How you remember all that stuff? Slink, you got to remember you 58 years old. You know why? Because I got mental exercises. I got mental exercises where I lift weights with my thought process, right? Yeah, see, my mind is just a vehicle that carries around my thoughts. Just like the brain is just the body, and my mind is the engine. But my thoughts are the pistons and the rods, and they be running on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So when you break it down to three-part party, see what I'm saying? So, the brain, dude said, man, you're dumb. You ain't got no brain. A lot of dudes got brains. That's why I say you could be brain dead. You still have a brain. But your mind is inside the brain, which would be your engine. And inside your mind are your thoughts. That's where everything be going. Where you like, man, why is it going so fast? That's why you might have so many things go through your mind. So, the pistons inside the motor. That's how your mind be running. Sometimes you say, man, I can't sleep. You can't sleep because your thoughts are running so bad. It ain't that you ain't tired. It's that you got so much. That's when they say, I got so much on my mind, Slim, I can't sleep. That's meaning that your mind is running. You never do say, man, this island too high. Turn the idle down. You said a little mini body. Turn it down, Slim. It's island too high. Then when you turn, you get to a point where then when your mind is island too high, guess what? You can't control your thoughts. That means your mind is over the speed limit, right? So if your mind is over the speed limit, that means you got less control of it. Just like when you drive the car 100 miles to 140 miles an hour, you got less control of the car. But when you slow the car down, that's why I do park. He don't park doing 60 miles an hour. He park doing 2 miles an hour. You know what I'm saying? Because he got control of his mind because he done slowed his thought process down. That's why sometimes a lot of dudes smoke It'll tell me when I'm lying. Oh, we back. I'm back live. I'm back on, huh? Turn the mic up. Okay, I'm back, y'all. We had a little technical difficulty. We was talking about that earlier, which was also a great thing I noticed in the Woman's Love Dana Dane play. They had a small technicality and they worked right through it. Boom, and they figured it out just like that. They had a microphone issue that was so minor, but if you're inexperienced, you don't know how to work through, just like we just had. Man, you need Deon. See, Michael Better, you start. The more you go to church, the less you got to start being a little bit more positive. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need Deon on. Deon ain't here, man. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man. I got people here that's helping me back it. They backing it up. I want to know, can you hear me? Y'all back on? Let me know. You can't work the podcast by yourself. Stick to Michael Belly, man. That's terrible, man. Listen, you got to be able to do things in life by yourself. That's what makes you you. Sometimes it's going to come upon time, Mike. You know how to survive on your own, don't you? You just got married and now you're talking about doing things together with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you're there, Mike. Because before I got off, we were talking about the importance of everybody tightening up with their health. You know what I'm saying? We was on a health issue because health is one of the leading causes of death in our community for us with heartache, even heartache kills. You know, grief, not handling grief, and also high cholesterol, high blood pressure, worrying, uh, lack of exercise, right? Alcohol, uh, narcotics, all those are things that help tear us down. How you doing, Risha Pittman? Thanks for everybody tuning in tonight. Hey, E and D. Ain't no E is here, D is not here. D is on leave. He's on administrative leave. He had to do the daddy duty. For those of y'all who look for Deon, he's not here. He had to take his daughter to a softball game. It's going to be many instances like that where I might not be here and Deon have to carry the show. So you grade my show and you grade his. Yeah, we see what's what. And I could have brought a female guest speaker in, but I didn't want a person to come in the last minute and, people be nervous and all that. Some people think this is easy to stand in front of a microphone and talk to an audience of people and try to keep them engaged. It's easy. Well, the only way it gets easy is through exercising over and over and over and over and over again. You get every show, you're going to have some anxiety because it's more about you being excited just to do the show than being afraid or having fear about doing the show. There's two different things. Fear is like a fork. You stick it in something and it gets in the way of what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? You need to be like a knife and slice your path and figure out which way you're going to go. Positive word of the day. Positive word of the day is God. Something that we as a people, whoever your God is, you need to get to him, talk to him. Whether he's Allah, Buddha, Jesus, whoever he is. And I think that's another thing we got to stop doing is stop trying to class people just because they ain't in the same classroom we in. But they studying too. Just because you studying 5 + 3 = 8 don't mean if they're in the other classroom studying 6 + 2 = 8, you know different because you're using bigger numbers than they using. We got to stop finding all these little things that's breaking us up and dividing us from us. Actually, we need more unity. Now, they say by 2040, the Hispanic community is going to be the largest culture in America. This is one of the reasons why this happened in that supermarket, because the young guy was reading the doctrine of replacement, where he's thinking in his mind that he's going to get replaced by other ethnic groups. And the first person he thought about replacing him was us. So he thought that he could go to a supermarket and just like do a video game. I mean, that's actually, if you look at what he did, it was equivalent to playing Grand Theft Auto, where you just ride 200 miles. You know how to do on Grand Theft Auto? You just ride. And you look at the audio games that they're giving the kids now. Check your kids' phones. Look at the games they're playing. Look at the terms and languages that they're using for kids, right? A lot of y'all just give the kids the phone and not watch them because they be quiet. You need to monitor what they're watching, because after he don't watch an hour of cuss words and you tell him to go sit down, he's done accumulated them hour cuss words over you saying, boy, go sit down, right? So you got to be careful of what you let your kid, and I'm talking about young kids like 7 and 8 on down, 5, even 10, 11. Well, you should have corrected things by the time they get that old, because you want to start when they're young. Mike be hating. Oh, yeah, he be hating Slim because he can't get on here and talk about nothing that's going to keep a dude engaged. But that's my man, though. You're going to have some homies that hate, but they should never stop you from motivating. You should use them like Floyd do for inspiration. See, that means I'm doing something good because he on here commenting. So I got to be doing something. He ain't rolled out yet. You know what I'm saying? That little ice cream job. You know, me and him do that with each other. That's my man. That's my loved one, man. That dude is a real good dude. Dude was a race soldier. Look what he wrote on his equipment. No excuses. Right. I agree with you, Richard. Now, white supremacy, like I said, Monday, is in everything. It's in the largest institutions in the world. Banking, right? Real estate, right? It's in our enforcement, what we call our justice system, right? It's in the police. That means it's in the police force, it's in the court system, it's in the laws. What we're working is an uphill battle in everything we do. We got the law stacked against us, and we still finding ways to win. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody not winning. Some people are what you call self-destructive. Those are the people that you see do stuff, and you say, man, why would Shawty do that? He's self-destructive. That's the definition of self-destructive. When one of these young guys, or even an old guy, do something that you say, man, why would he do that? You say, he's self-destructive. I mean, he just lost it. No man in their right mind would shoot hanging out the car at kids if they didn't lose their mind. And people say, oh man, ain't none of that, he's stupid. Listen, I wouldn't dare shoot a kid. I don't think there's nothing a kid could do for me to shoot a kid. I think kid is one of the most innocent, one of the most harmless things in creation. So if you can do something to that, child abuse, or there's been cases with child abuse where people don't like to spank their kids no more. We're not telling you to beat your kid in front of everybody. But when we were young, when we got a spanking, our parents explained the spanking out while we were getting spanked. I don't want to do this to you, boy, but I got to. You hurt me when I do this. And they would tell you, listen, I only did that because you did this and that. Look, it's gonna be times where spanking, you ain't gonna get spanked by mama. You're gonna get spanked by the court system. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna get spanked. Hey, bro, what's up, B? You're gonna get spanked by district court. You can get spanked like they got our two brothers, Gunner and Young Thug. That's getting spanked. They trying to spank them boys with RICO acts. Now, I know that's some dudes, everybody now trying to run around and trying to explain what RICO acts is and all that. Man, listen, let's keep it simple. If the government uses the RICO Act to get you, they want you. Now, it's not up for me. Yeah, it's not up to me. Hey, Shantice, how you doing? It's not up to me or anybody to shine a light on what they, I'm praying for the brothers because I know, RICO Act, those laws weren't even created for us. It was created for the mob. Actually, racketeering and all that, that was for organized crime. But what they did is, over the years, organized crime kind of like found a loophole how to get out of it. So now they done flipped it over because it's just sitting on the shelf now. See, now they just looking for people to use it. They got to do something with it. You got to ask yourself, when is the last time somebody from our community got the RICO Act. Casanova. And what year was that? It's 2022 now. So that means if he just pleaded guilty to the RICO Act, so he getting life. Yeah. RICO Act. It's an act that they call. It's like it's a bill, a crime bill. It's a crime bill that they use, which was originally brought out for organized crime. Because at a point, people don't talk about. At a point, organized crime was so organized, they had the police underneath their belt. So that's one of the reasons why they called it organized, because they had the law and judges and all that were involved in it. And you couldn't stop it because they had moles everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And they had to organize. They're paying this person, that person, pay that person, that person, pay that person. And it kept the wheel rolling to a point where they was able to accumulate so much fortune. When they say, oh, look, Slim, we're going to have to slow it. We're going to start hitting it. They say, okay, we cool. We up now. We're going to pull back. If you look at The Godfather, even that's one of my favorite movies, but if you start looking at to the point at Godfather, y'all got to look at Godfather because it explains to how where the mob moved from drugs, prostitution, and gambling, where a lot of people who were not mob affiliates, but were gangsters, were starting up their own form of corruption, which was the new and true thing, which was heroin. Smack. They called it smack back then, right? So this is what the mob didn't want to have nothing to do with that, because all the political ties and all that, that was going, but it got to a point where, right. And see, the business that they had is the business that everybody into. Yeah. Exactly. That was my next cue. He said, when he slapped the table, he said, I don't want to go sold around schools. Right. Put it up in a black neighborhood. They said they don't care about nothing anyway. They monsters anyway. So this is the perception of them. So actually what they did is they moved the goalpost. Now, okay, because you got to look and see people don't know the difference. They always talk about what happened around their way and all that. But if you go back into actually when blacks start really entering the drug trade and making heavy moves, what year you think that was? When blacks wasn't into drugs, selling drugs. That wasn't a large scale of where we got money from. You know what I'm saying? Because, we didn't have connections. We didn't have players. All that was still controlled by the powers that be, right? But once they start trying to, the only way they can really get rid of it or get off of it, sprinkle it to us. You see what I'm saying? So we were guinea pigs, right? Yeah. Right. Billie Holiday, for those of y'all don't know, one of the most talented singers to ever come out of our community. Diana Ross, I think, played her in the movie, right? Diana Ross. Lady Sings the Blues. For those of y'all don't know who Billie Holiday is, Lady Sings the Blues also is one of my favorite movies. Because I've been in love with Diana Ross for 25 years. I always loved her. I always loved Diana Ross. I've always loved Diana, and I probably because I grew up on Lady Sings the Blues and Mahogany, and then when she'd be twisting her. When she be playing that joint so good, right? And we be looking at you like, man, that joint good, and she was fine. Back then Diana Ross was gorgeous. She was so gorgeous that I think the first two boyfriends became her husband. They were billionaires. She married billionaires. Yeah, I'm just trying to give Slim. I'm just trying to be diverse. I'm here by myself, so I get to explore and I get to go all over the place. But I got some cue cards back there live and spitting too, so they help me. So I ain't doing it by myself. It's take a team. We got producers, we got executive producers, we got writers. I mean, it's a lot to put this stuff together. Y'all just think I just got out the car, drunk a Heineken and get up here, man, you got to be prepared, man. I got to sit in the car, I got to write stuff down. And for those people who have platforms, or they have information, we can move to trying to help people who have stuff that they do on YouTube or trying to get more exposure. You can come and check with my man at 2904 Minnesota Avenue Southeast at Rebel Houses. You go to his website and you will see how you can book a session, or you can get consultation, and he can show you how to get your page up. Or you can holler at me and go to inbox me, and you can have a real estate section. You can have a cooking section. We're going to do a lot of different things where we're going to address different audiences, because one of the things that they're preaching now is diversity, right? Yeah, but see, we as people, we sometimes see diversity as gentrification. But see, we don't supposed to look at the colors, right? Don't look at the colors, because we already know about gentrification. You got to look at the diversity. And when we got to look at the diversity, we got to look at the diversity within. I just talked to Jay. He told me how we can do this and do that and do this. There's so many things you can do off one entity. Off a podcast, you can create a show and a play and a movie, and you create actors, and you can advertise products. And man, listen, it's not just about somebody getting up here trying to get a bunch of views. It's about delivering. When you are a broadcaster, podcaster, or whatever, you still have a responsibility behind this microphone to use your platform for me to be the rawest I can be. Yeah, I'm gonna give you some entertainment. Y'all notice last 2 shows since I hired my cussing coach, I haven't been using no cuss words. I haven't cussed that one time. I still know how to have humor without, using a bunch of profanity. And don't get me wrong, we can go to the gutter, but at this present time, I'm moving away from actually doing a lot of cussing, right? Because that's something before my sister passed, right? I set up, and I ain't never told nobody this, but up until the day, one of the last times that my sister talked, right? And my sister used to listen to the show every time, and she loved it. She was listening, boy, you on there tonight? To the point where she started, this is when you notice people start losing their faculties when they don't understand the days. You get your days mixed up. Like when you lose your faculty, you'll wake up and you won't even know what day it is. You'll wake up saying, what's the day? And I mean, not saying what's the day because you was drunk. You're saying what's the day because you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that means a part of your memory has been erased. Where you going, home? Oh. We need to get us some. I'm gonna take me a break. And I need to get me something to drink.
I wanted some potato patties, the hash brown. I couldn't tell that man what that was to save my life. He kept on saying, man, look at what?
What? Where'd you go?
I went to Trader Joe's to get me, I wanted some hash brown potatoes. The little kind like you sell at the McDonald's.
Right.
I went in there and I couldn't remember what the name of.
Oh, the brand. Yeah. The brand that you want, or the actual hash brown.
The hash.
Oh yeah, you was fried.
I wasn't even fried.
No, I'm talking about the brain. Not saying to that. I'm talking about where the brain freezes. Well, you know what? That goes back to what we saying sometimes, that when our brain is idle, how we got a lot on our mind. We use different terms for different things. Because I accidentally left one of my best friends off. I just got off the phone. We said, man, send me the information for your sister. And my mind was so all over the place. I got off the phone and I didn't send him. I just talked to him today. He said, man, look here. I'm going to charge it to your head, not to your heart. He said, man, you got off the phone. You never sent me the information. He said, man, I was hurt, man. He said, but you know what, Slim? I'm going to charge it to your head and not to your heart, because I know where we at. And we was one of the guys. He was one of the guys. He was one of the guys that you putting it all together, Slim. Diana Ross' birthday is the same day. We all Aries, including Billie Holiday. I didn't know that. What is the day that Diana Ross' birthday is? We can look that up. What day is that? Well, Diana Ross back then. Yeah, well, back then in the 70s, I think Diana Ross was one of the few blacks that were getting roles like that. And then Diane Carroll came, I think, after Diane Ross. That's my birthday. Back it up. It was before Diane Ross. I couldn't go for that. She played. What she playing?
On a show called Julia. Back in the day, she was a black nurse working for this white doctor, and she was a single parent. Had a little boy named Corey. That's how I named my son Corey.
Oh, ain't that something?
After that, Corey was born in 1977. No, 1975.
Huh? What you say? Yeah, he's on YouTube. You can see he on YouTube. See the red thing right there? Yeah, when anybody's up, they got the red thing on them. They on YouTube. Richard, you on Facebook or YouTube? I didn't know that's news to me. I didn't know Diana Ross was born on the same day as me. Michael Belly's birthday is the 30th, I think. March the 30th. Am I right? That's probably another reason why we connected. Because I had a crush on Diana Ross since well, there's a few girls now. Right now, today, one of the most attractive females, I think and I look at her, man, she just tickles me to death. And that's Sally Richardson. That's my girl. Sally Richardson. What happened? You see something? See how they keep coming up? They coming up. Oh, you probably got to go to my page. Oh, yeah? Oh, it might didn't go back up because it didn't go back through stream, y'all. But they on there. If they got that first half on, let me see if it's on here. Hold up. That's probably how Michael Belly dropped off. I'll see in 1 second. Yeah, it's on it. Right. Yep. You know what? That's gone. You know why it's gone? Because of the stream, y'all. That's gone. So yeah, you know what that left? You know what that left? Because you got to reschedule. That's what I was saying. You got if it go out like that, you got to reschedule it again with stream, y'all, with Facebook. You know how you? Hey, what's up, Big Mess? How you been, man? Listen, y'all on YouTube. Okay, well, we on Facebook then. Hey, man, you missed it. You missed the shout out I sent to you, man. I'm going dolo tonight. You missed the shout out. Sean, are you on Facebook? Yup, you on Facebook. You on? Okay, we back up then. They plugged us back in. Sean, did you, how much of the show you been listening to? For the all y'all don't know, that's my nephew. You know, I'm so proud of him. Yeah, I know I get on his last nerve sometimes. But he know I got his best interest at heart. That's one thing about him. Oh, Teacher Hill, how you doing? So you on Facebook, we back up. Okay, now, for those of y'all who are just turning in or just tuning in, we talked about a lot. We were actually talking about the thought process of relationships. And we talked about a lot. We also talked about Diana Ross and how they were involved in movies earlier. And Diane Carroll, we talked about the transition from Riggs Park and some of the guys who originated, the triple OGs for Riggs Park, like Butch Marshall, Ching Wong, Larry Lucy, you know what I'm saying? Sprite, which was Sanford's brother, you know what I'm saying? And Sanford, yeah. Those guys. Who else was it? Rochester. Okay. What about my man that was on your block? True Heart. True Heart is a slug. Yeah, True Heart, man. Nah. Okay, you heard it first one here. Boy, it's getting hot in here, boy. Jermaine gonna have to get some fans up here. That was a hot one right there. Yeah, but man, getting back to what we're talking about. Yeah, I know Chang Wong was a real pimp. And Bobby Marshall definitely was real. And Larry Lucci, I know. I mean, not Bobby, I'm sorry. Butch Marshall. Well, you know, the nephew right now is a big boy in the sound. He's a big boy. No, the young Bobby Marshall, which we used to call him when we grew up, his name was Squeaky. Well, he's a big boy in the sound game, Jermaine. He does all the concerts out of town with the Big Johnson, Birchmere. He's a big sound guy. Yeah, he top dog. He's up there with Big Al. You know, Al's another sound guy too. They're big boy. Al did the Chuck Brown. That's another one of our homies. Al did the Chuck Brown Hall of Fame. Yeah, I was down there. He tried to get me a free seat. He wasn't going to. I was like, nah, I'm cool. That was at the old WST Club. That's where 930. Yeah, which was considered Cheese, Block, Spoon, Gary, Anderson, and Dave Alexander. No, Dave Alexander wasn't no pimp. Dave Alexander was a hard-working man. He used to work for Metro. Monk, you just talking about guys that you. Monk was a pimp, right? Yeah, these are guys that grew up. Yeah, they younger. Yeah, Dave Alexander younger. Dave Alexander was a boy truck. He was a big boy truck. Screen from. Y'all. Okay. We're having a little technical difficulty. Here we go. It'll catch up. Your screen good. That's my screen. Hey, Renee, how you doing? I just seen your brother yesterday. He came in the shop. He came in and said, I told him I talked to you on via Facebook, here and there. And he said he was trying to get some things together. And he was working on Big Dippy McCloud, which is also my big brother and yours too. Yeah, I think the internet was acting a little slow. But for those of y'all that just tuned in, y'all might have to go back. And your pal Al, who is Al? Oh, you talking about Bob? Yeah, Bob, that's Star Child father. Yeah, Bob is Star Child father. Yeah, Bob, and mother's name is Ann. What was his mother name? What's Star Child mother name? Ann, or what's her name? Little brown skin lady. Yeah, it's Ann. I think her name is Ann. Well, I know Trisha Ann, and their mama's name is Ann. Uh-huh. I forgot her name. She was a very quiet, nice person. Is she Catfish's sister or cousin? You remember Catfish, right? Catfish is Gerald Kerr's father. They used to live next door to Miss Collins and them on Madison Street, right? And Louis DeWells used to live 4 or 5 doors down. And then you go down from there, you had Sandy Williams, and then you had the Wilkersons, which are my family, my people. That's where Dodie and Andre from. You go a little further down, you had Tracy and them, which is Ralph Williams, Pat Williams, right? You go a little further down, you had with the two brothers? The light skin, Bobby Hall and Michael Hall. No, you talking about further. That's you talking about Smokey. Right. You talking about Smokey that used to play the congos for Peacemakers. That's Bobby Hall. And what's Smokey's first name? Hey, Kurt, what's happening? You doing something tomorrow? You chilling? You going another direction tomorrow? You come to see me? Right. Yeah. Man, listen, man, this has been a beautiful time here, man. I got to renegotiate my contract. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to do some renegotiation, man. Man, to show me love. Since I've been here, man, I'm doing the one-man show today. If you go back earlier to the show, we was in the midst of a lot of heated conversations about a lot of different things. And now the internet went out. So sometimes, man, when you talking that good stuff, man, then people got a way of shutting you down. I even heard uh, people make statements about how they start making progress, and people start boycotting them or boxing them out. You know what I mean? Because they're so inferior about what they do. They're so busy watching them instead of working on what they need to be working on for their show, or work what you got, or compliment somebody. What happened to just complimenting somebody got something nice? What's wrong with saying, Jermaine, man, that's a nice car, Slim. I like that joke. I do. I really do. I like Cadillacs anyway. I've been riding around in Cadillac since I was young. You know what I mean? And to see where Cadillac has came from to now is, they always been prestige in our community. Cadillac, that's all they were driving. We going back to the pimps, and that's all they. If you get a Cadillac, oh man, if you get a Cadillac back in the '70s, you was considered, man. People thought you had $1 million. You always wanted one too. You got it. Yeah, yeah. I seen your Cadillac. So you a Cadillac man then? You gonna get another one? Which one you like? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that CT6 a bad jump. Man, it's bad, man. That CT6, that's the one I like. That CT6 is the same version, but a little longer and sleeker. You know what I'm saying? It's more like a sport, but still got that S type of ride because the bigger. That's one thing about the S's and all that. The wheelbase is bigger. Oh, yeah, that's my man, Crazy Horse. Yeah, yeah, he was into everything. Horse was into everything. Ain't nothing that he wasn't into. Somebody trying to call me. I didn't hook my phone up to the roadcaster this week. So I don't have no calling available. So people trying to call in and talk and all that. It's not nothing available. Just put your comment up there. I'll get to you. Put it up there. And eventually, we're going to, what time is it? 9:05. I'm going to tape off. That's my client. I'm going to tape off at 9:15. I'm going to spend the last 10 minutes on speaking about people who are no longer with us, that we are so happy that they resided in our life and in our spirit. And we'll start with Mr. Hart and Mrs. Hart. They're gone, but they're not forgotten. I'll start with my mother, Mary Ann McCrae, and my sister, Jacqueline McCrae. She's gone, but she's not forgotten. Right? I start with Q Quarterbomb. He's no longer with us, but we always have him with us. He's gone, but he's not forgotten. Now, when you lose somebody, you never lose them. They're just not with you. But you never lost them. Hey, listen, our life will never, ever be the same. We just have to find a way to mend the chip. Like you get a cookie, you get a chocolate chip cookie, and the cookie got 4 or 5 chocolate chips missing off that joint. You still a good cookie, man, but it ain't the same if you had them two. You had them 2 little chocolate joints in there, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's all right, but it ain't the same. It's just not whole. Because the way we were born is the family we was in or we was riding with, whether it be mother, grandmother, auntie, cousin. We lost cousins, we lost aunties, we lost brothers, we lost mothers. And what I always say, I think the best thing for us to do, since we still here residing here, I think is for us to be all we can be so their life won't be in vain. You know what I'm saying? I think we just take the good. I was listening to something the pastor said. I don't know if you stayed for the service, Jermaine, because you probably had to work. You had to work, yeah. But the pastor said something that really caught me, right? He was saying that, man, he said something to the effect that don't do something my sister was doing. He said, you got to, he was saying, don't just, in some kind of way, I might have to go back and look at it, but he was saying, to get what she got, you got to do what she did, basically. You know what I'm saying? He was saying, you got to do the things that sometimes, that you might not want to do. You know what I'm saying? It might be something, I ain't going to that joint. But you got to do it. Because my sister, one thing about her, she was a do it now type person. If you say, well, look, I'm going to come over tonight. No, you don't want to come. She said, you better come over here now. You want to come tonight. You say, no, I'm too tired. Look, you said you was coming. You should have never said. She was one of them type people. And if you look at it, the more you do things now, the more you will have at the end of your life. Because that means you'll have less time wasted. You know what I mean? So I'm going to close out with saying thanks for everybody that tuned in off Facebook. You can share the show, subscribe to our page. You can inbox me if you want to get on the show to let me know what kind of presentation you want to have. And we can sit down, have a sit down, we get it together. It's not a hard process, but I like to be prepared. And I like to do things. I like to be prepared at what I do. I don't like to do things on the fly, but I can do that too. Because you got to be prepared even when you're not prepared. Because you never know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to close the show out, and I'm going to close up. We got two. Hey, good brother. How you doing? How you doing? I'm doing good. You can step in the camera. We got the #1 red. Come on in the camera, man. See, y'all ain't there. We got the #1 red carpet guy in the city right now. Man, hey, y'all thought, boy, y'all hear me. You know, he get the yeah. This is for those of y'all don't know, man. This is family. You understand? This is a guy from Diamond City Show, right? Diamond City Life Show. He's the host. This is a great guy. This guy here, man, has been very influential in my life with speaking. He's been rapping. He do all kinds. He's supervisor, UPS. Man, do everything, man. Man, smooth man got a million jobs. See, one thing about black man got to have a million incomes. It's all about streams. You know what I'm saying? Because we never got enough. Because we so far behind on the depth chart. You know, we like the 15 man on the bench in the NBA team. You know what I'm saying? We want to get in. You know what I'm saying? We over there cheering and all that. But at the same time, you got to take into the fact that we all on the team, right? We just got to work hard at getting ourselves in the starting lineup. And this ain't about podcasting. We talking about living righteous. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of things go beyond just shows. You know what I'm saying? Man, you got to have your spirit right, man. You ain't getting no younger. You ain't getting no younger, so don't think you don't keep going on them brunches and all them little Jones and Blake popping more and all that. It's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to align your spirit, you know what I'm saying, with the spirit of God. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been a lot going on in all of our lives. We've been losing people been getting sick. We've been going to hospital, we've been viewing people, man. Thanks for popping in, Shan. Yeah, there you go, Shannon. Yeah, Shannon. Y'all always thought man, all over the place, podcast, down, they beef. Man, get out of here, man. What's wrong with y'all goofballs, man? We family, man. We go together, man. Y'all crazy joke. That's how, and I'm going to tell y'all something. For all of y'all that don't know, I ain't never got nowhere in life not trying to help or appreciate somebody else. You give what you get. You see what I'm saying? Or you get what you give. You know what I'm saying? You can't be going around here, man, hating on people and then think you're going to hit the lottery. You know what I'm saying? You be the prime type of dude to get hit by a truck. You know what I'm saying? When you spurring all that pus on people and all that. Oh, man, I don't fool with that dude. Oh, I don't do this with that. Dude ain't done nothing to you, man, but he just was doing what he was doing. And we got to get out of that mindset, man. We got to start being like them other ethnic groups where they done mastered unity. That's why they're climbing. See, everybody climbing down on us. You know, we starting to sink down to the bottom. We want bushel of crabs and, man, slow down with all that. Bushel of crabs and all, you know, we got to slow down on the partying. We got to slow down on that, Slim. I know, you know, we got to turn up and all that. They done convinced us that, like I said earlier, that amusement is not the truth. See, don't get amusement mixed up with the truth. You know what I'm saying? The truth is something that lasts forever. Amusement is something you come out 2 in the morning and say, damn, Slim, that joint over? Yeah, it's over. But the truth ain't never over. The truth is the only thing that changes not. You could tell somebody that the truth, something right now. What is today's date? May the 19th, 2022. Guess what? It'll be the truth 20 years from now. Because the truth is the only thing that changes not. Well, I ain't going to hold y'all, man. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I did the Dolo thing. My man out there playing Super Dad, which I respect. We also, everybody, we got to father our kids, get closer to your kids. Check their phone. Don't be giving them everything they want. Just give them what they need. I said it again. Don't give your kids everything they want. That's not good parenting. But giving them everything they need is. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference between your needs and your wants. Don't give them stuff that you wanted when you was a kid, but you ain't get it. But you know, for real, that's really too much. And some people, man, I can give my kid anything. Yeah, but how much wisdom you giving them? How much financial literacy you giving them? How much manners are you teaching them? Are you teaching your kid to say please and thank you? I appreciate it, sir. Are you teaching them to be grateful? Are you teaching your kids to, when they go over somebody's house, respect their property, sit over their house, sit in people's house and not run around like they say on that, what's that joint on that song? Kids running around my house like Chuck E. Cheese. You know what I'm saying? Not a joint like that. They try to tell you that, when we were brought up, we had something that a lot of people don't have. It's 2 words, home training. Two things we already knew. When you go over somebody's house, you sit down, you don't run around, you know what I mean? And if you get up and your people told you, they done warned you. You don't got to warn. I'm talking about this warning, Slim, was like the warning on the side of a cigarette pack. They done warned you, don't get up and run around. Then mama gonna let you run around the first time, she gonna give you that side eye. And you know that side eye mean, boy, you missed it, your head. Damn. And without her even saying it. So our parents used to know how to communicate without actually, they had a look that they can look at oh, my mother's serious. But I watched instances today in the barbershop where a mother had to tell her kid over 30 times to sit down. Over 30 times. Listen, you know how you can be in a public place and in the beginning, the first 5 minutes of crying, you're like, oh, Shorty, gonna stop crying. You can cry. 10 minutes, I'm Shorty, girl, stop crying. 15 minutes, Shorty, if you don't shut the mouth, you know what I'm saying? After 20 minutes, and now, the kid now the kid not even crying, it's more about them being mad that they're not getting away. That could translate. Hey, Slim, I'm not. Ain't no question. There we go. And man, the man come off the cue card. Man came off the top of the dome, Slim. The man just came right off the dome, man. He ain't got nothing written down. See, sometimes you gotta be ready. Pull up, chewing gum. What's up, yo? He just ready. You know what I mean? You gotta be. That's old saying too. If you ain't ready, better get ready. If y'all ready, better stay ready. You see what I'm saying? Now, when I was on my college journey, because I went to college. Everybody know I went to college. I went to college, right? I went to Penn State. Man, the joint went right up. Penn State, Penitentiary State, man. What you talking about, Penn State, man? I ain't talking about the college. Yeah, listen. But when I was saying that, I was saying it to say that, man, the lessons that you learn are so severe that everything is like, it ain't like if you make a mistake, you get reprimanded. If you make a mistake, it could cost you your life. You know what I'm saying? If you violate somebody's personal space, they could kill you. If you do stuff unconsciously, because in your mind and in my mind, I'm not a guy. I wasn't brought up in a criminal house, and a lot of things that my ways I learned from going the opposite of what I was taught. I didn't get that from my household the way I was raised. The worst things that we do in our life, our parents didn't teach us that. We got that after we left out the house. Now that's when you start getting curious. You start drifting. What in the tree? What in you? You start rolling. And nowadays, they got it's more severe than the J. Weed so regular now they done made it legal because they got more problems. Percocets, lean, heroin, fentanyl. Yeah, right. What you see now that they say, man, at least that we worry about is weed. And see, for real, the weed attack our community a little harder too because of what it does. It make us lethargic. I'll do it tomorrow. I just talked about how tomorrow might not be. Tomorrow, that old saying, tomorrow ain't promised to you. That's a real bone home. Tomorrow ain't promised to you. Every night that we go lay down, we just laying down because we done did it so many times that we done got so vain that we know we're going to wake up. You know why? Because we done did it 400,000 or 500,000 times. Now, I'm 58 years old. There's 365 days in a year. So I don't know how many naps I took in 58 years and how many times I went to bed. You do the math. But over repetition, I'm thinking like I'm going to bed like you do when you buy a 60-inch from Best Buy and they give you the warranty and you think the TV ain't going to never go out. Yeah. Yeah. Well, look. Well, look. I'm gonna close out, man. I done gave y'all 2 hours of chopping it up. We had a little small uh technical difficulty, man. I'm so happy Shannon pulled up, man, because we've been trying to. No, let me scratch that. We ain't been trying to do nothing because we could have made it happen if it wanted to happen. But what we got looking forward to, I'm trying to get him on my show and I'm trying to get on their show so we can, jog the thoughts around. Because me and JQ already talked about the body and the engine and the pistons. For those of y'all don't understand, I'm gonna give y'all 2 jewels before I leave. The first jewel is if you care, you can be fair. And if you can be fair, you can share. I'm going to say it one more time. If you care, you can be fair. And if you can be fair, you can share. Now, 2, all my people out there with them guns, man, put them guns down, man, before you get late, man, before they going to do something big with you, man. Prayers out to Young Thug and Gunner. Hope y'all be all right. Put them guns down, young boys. Put them guns down, old heads, gang members. Put them guns down before you get late. Learn to love instead of hate. I'm going to close out on that, man. Y'all keep y'all head up. Put God first. Peace.